And welcome back. So in this video we'll be doing the D10, another quick dice. Doesn't take a whole lot, it's pretty basic. Very similar to our D12, actually D12 is a bit more complicated on the D10. It's just a few little shapes and combine them together. So yeah, if that's what you're here for, we'll get into it. Okay, so we got a new project here. We'll start off with our sketch on the bottom plane. Then we'll go to polygon and our centered polygon. For a D10, we're going to want only 5 faces, and for just simplicity, we'll work with 25 millimeter. Get the snap right there, 25, perfect. Now we're going to finish the sketch, and we're going to make another sketch on the vertical plane. So we did one here, and now we're going to do one on the Z-axis. So sketch again, select our vertical, and we're going to do another 25. So 25 millimeter, make sure you're at 90 degrees, that is important, and finish the sketch. So you should have something that looks like this in your polygon with a stick in the middle. And then what we're going to do is use the loft tool to create a full object, I guess. So we're going to grab our face and we're going to loft it to our top point. And there you can see it kind of made like a little pyramid. And that's it. Click OK, and we got it. So, same as before, we just want to mirror it, so we're going to copy it, create a copy, and we're going to rotate it. Make sure you hit the create copy again if you didn't do that. And we want to do along this axis. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees. Oops, sorry, 180 degrees. There we go. Now, to fix this little offset here, we can move it once more. Rotate it, and we're going to rotate along the vertical axis, and that will just be 360 divided by 10. There you go. So now you could stop right here. I mean, that's pretty much a D10. You can take these two, you can combine them, click OK, and bam, you have a D10, right? It's kind of basic, it's nothing too fancy, and I mean, some designs might like the sharp edges, and you know, we can always use a fillet. We can kind of round the edges off if you want, and it might look kind of neat if you did all of these rounded off here, right? Just kind of round them off. Let's see what that looks like. So you could probably get an interesting shape out of that, right? If that's what you're going for. But I'm going to show you a little bit different way to do this. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to hit Control Z a few times. We're going to back up to where we have the offset dice, and if you, for whatever reason, if you can't Control Z, your timeline's not working, just click the move tool again. Make sure you're on bodies, select the body, and we're going to rotate it along the same vertical axis, and the exact same to put it back where it was, so 360 divided by 10. Alright, get this offset here. So now what we want to do is move it up, so make sure we got body selected. You can move the top down or bottom up, doesn't really matter. For this one, I'm just going to move the bottom up. And we're just going to do a free move. Or sorry, translate. We're going to move it up, and we want to move it up to where the edge line is almost intersecting with the edge line on the top. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, if we zoom in far enough, you see there is a gap between, but we want it fairly close. So that's good there, we'll tell it OK. And then we want to combine them. So select both the bodies, hit the combined, and you want to use the join. Click OK, and there we go. So this doesn't look like a normal traditional D10, but what we do is the push and pull. You can grab the top, you can grab the bottom, but you want to grab one of the faces of this like jagged protrusion, the pointy part. And then we're going to drag it down until you get this kind of like triangular face here, and you're going to click OK, and it will cut off the axis on the bottom as well. And we're left with more of a traditional D10 that doesn't have those sharp edges. So if you're looking for more traditional, you can definitely use this method. I kind of like this one a little bit better. And then in the future you can do some really wacky, weird shapes on the D10. But yeah, so that's how you create a more, I don't know, better looking D10. So just like before, I'll go ahead and go over the steps one more time on how to import your SVG, like your numbers. You can also, if you want a more detailed tutorial on how to make the numbers, and you can watch my D6 video. But it's pretty simple. We're going to do an insert. We're going to go out to our SVGs. Oop, I grabbed the wrong one. Cancel. We want to insert an SVG. I hit canvas by mistake. So SVG. Import from the computer, and we're going to start off with the number 1. And we're going to select a face we want to import it to. Select this top face here. And as always, SVGs are, they got a mind of their own. They'll come in as big as or as small as they want to. We're going to shrink it down a bit. Get it over here. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's still a little big. A little smaller. Okay, that's pretty good. And we will click OK on that. Finish our sketch. Then we'll grab our extrude tool. Click here, here, and here, and we're just gonna bring it in 0.5 millimeter, so -0.5. It'll kind of etch it into the dice 0.5 millimeter. Click OK, and there we go. So we have our number 1. I'll go ahead and do this on the rest of the dice. 0 through 9, and we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. So finished importing all the SVGs and getting them cut out on the dice, and here we are. So again, it's pretty basic still. The sizing's kind of off. You should really size these proportional and maybe put the larger side at the bottom, especially like on my number 7. It's tiny. I would have more room if I had it upside down, so maybe orientation would also play in, which way you put your dice. But this is just the basics. So yeah, this is how you make a D10. And a bit of a more fancy way other than just putting some corners on it. So yeah, I hope you learned something. If you did, please leave a comment down below. Like the video if it helped you, and then subscribe for more. Our next one will be probably the D8, and then we'll move into the D20. Probably throw in a D4 in there here eventually too, but D4 is pretty easy. It's exactly the same as we did right here. You do a triangle, you do a loft, connect it, done. Pretty easy. So again, thank you for watching, and come back for more.